Hello student, welcome to VidyaNest. In last class, we concluded trigonometry, and today we are going to start one of the most important part of math, that is complex number. Complex number means imaginary number, means widerness of imagination, where we get gobsmacked. See, what is complex number? What kind of numbers are complex numbers? In set theory, you are taught that complex number is superset of all set. Why? See, what is the cause of introduction of complex number in mathematical field? Suppose there is a point coordinate geometry, point in coordinate system, x comma y. Okay. Now, coordinate geometry first indicates the position of a point, which Euclid geometry could not do. Now, this coordinate geometry has some limitation. What kind of limitation? Suppose 2 points are given. In coordinate geometry, you can add or subtract 2 points, one from other, but you cannot multiply. So, that multiplication will be introduced in new system that is called vector, xi plus yj. Okay. Now, is vectors, vectors advanced version is matrix. Here, we can allocate the points in a chamber. In computer, it is called array function. But this vector and matrix both have some limitation. What limitation? Both of them consume the criteria of addition, subtraction and multiplication, but not division. Now, division comes. Division will be introduced in complex number. Addition, multiplication, subtraction, multiplication and division all are together in complex number. Okay. So, complex number is advanced among all of them. Okay, so this is the connection. This is the connection between these systems, from coordinate to vector, vector to matrix, matrix to complex number. Now, what kind of numbers are to be called complex number? Suppose you have got a quadratic equation of this type. X square plus 1 is equal to 0. Now, x square is what? Minus 1. The question is, in a real number system, perfect square of any number is minus 1. It's not possible. So, it is not real. So, x is called root of minus 1. Once you get minus 1 or minus something under root, that is called complex number or imaginary number. It is called iota. Okay, it is denoted by the first alphabet I. This is actually imaginary number. I stands for imaginary number. I is root minus 1, I square minus 1, I cube I square into I minus 1 into I minus I to the power 4 I square whole square 1 and so on. In this way, you can calculate that iota. Now, complex number means it can be compared to the subconscious mind of us. Suppose you have seen a person, you are observing that person's activity in real life. Suppose the person is no more, but his or her impression still alive in your subconscious mind. That means, you know, that image of that person which you are carrying in your subconscious mind will be compared to complex number. It is a different world, virtual world. Understand? Now, that world in mathematical term is called argand plane. Argand plane. The elements in argand plane depending on real number. Suppose you are recalling the memory of those person whom you know, though whom you do not know, you cannot recall. That means had the presence of that person not been there, then you cannot imagine that person. You cannot call back that person in your subconscious mind, in that virtual world. So it depends on real, but it has some more property. That's why it is called superset of all set. This arcane plane, any number x comma y, suppose any point will be denoted by x plus iy, and that will be kept in z. X plus iy z. That x plus iy means all points of that type will be kept in z argand plane, that is denoted by z plane. Now, like coordinate geometry, this argand plane also split it or into two axes, x and y axis. X axis is real axis and this is imaginary axis. Imaginary axis. Okay. Suppose there is a point x comma y that is in real number. So in complex number, that is called x plus, that will be denoted by x plus iy, and which is kept in z. Z is equal to x plus iy. Suppose you are walking through a road, you are the object, and what thing is following you? Your shadow, that is your image. Shadow is the image of yours. That means that you cannot hold your shadow. You cannot catch it, but you can see it. So that's your image has real axis like you, but instead of real y, that has imaginary y axis. Okay, so this point in complex number will follow the property of real number also. See, from this point, if I draw a perpendicular, this will be x, this will be y. See, as this Argand plane is the virtual world depending on the real number system. Depending on the real number system, that means it must consume all properties of real number but something more. Okay. So this x comma y, it has one component horizontal, one component vertical, and in case of coordinate geometry both are real. But in case of complex number, x is real, y is imaginary. I have just mentioned that the points in complex number or complex plane will follow all the rule of real number, but the nomenclature, name will be different. See, in coordinate geometry system, this length of the side will be called hypotenuse. Okay, in coordinate geometry, that one from Pythagoras axioms. This is A, this is B. X, y, this is root x square plus y square. In real coordinate system, this is called hypotenuse. The same thing you will get in complex number, but with different name. That is called modulus of z. Modulus of z. In short, by symbol mod z. In short, mod z, mod. That is what? Root x square plus y square. Understand? Root x square plus y square. That means the hypotenuse in real number system is renamed as modulus of z in complex number system. The matter is same. You can ask that in real number system, when we are taking the in length of hypotenuse, then both are real. But in case of imaginary number, we are also taking root x square plus y square. So do they have no difference? Obviously they have difference. But see, when you are finding length, it must be measured with respect to real number. Length cannot be imaginary. We will keep on watch the virtual world in terms of real. Understand? So modulus of z, वो जो mod z is root x square plus y square. इसको रियल कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम में बोलता था हाइपोटेन्यूज. यहां पे ये इसको बोला जाएगा मॉड्यूलस ऑफ z. ठीक है. नाउ if you produce it downwards equally, then you will get a new point B dash. B dash is the image of B. Okay, B dash is the image of B. Image you got in physics as well as in coordinate geometry, in symmetry. Join this. So B dash point will be what? You know the rule of coordinate. If you go upwards, that will be y. If you go downwards, that will be minus y. So this point will be x comma minus y. Okay. Now that x comma minus y also can be expressed by the general term of complex number. What is that? X minus iy. So how we can distinguish x plus iy and x minus iy? The way you distinguish the conjugate sorts, okay, in rational directional number, A plus root b is the combination of rational irrational part which conjugate a minus root b. So same concept. X plus iy is a point in complex plane. So its conjugate is x minus iy. And that will be denoted by z bar. It is called conjugate of z. It is called conjugate of z. That means z bar is conjugate of z. So z bar is x minus iy. So if I put another bar on it, so I will get conjugate of this thing also. Means image of this point with respect to x-axis is this, and its vice versa, means image of b dash again will fall on b. That means b dash is the image of b and the reverse. B is the image of b dash. So z bar is x minus iy. If I take another bar of it, I will get its image x plus iy. That means you will get back z. So we have got z double bar is equal to z itself. In set theory you got, in set theory a set's complement is the set itself. Understand? Minus minus plus, a complements complement the set itself. That means a z bar and double bar is z itself. Understand? So same concept will be brought here. Now if I multiply z and z bar, what thing will occur? X plus iy into x minus iy. So that will give the remembrance of the product a plus b, a minus b, x square minus I square y square. What is I square? You got here, I square is minus 1, put here. So x square plus y square z into z bar. Z into z bar, a square plus y square. So if a complex number is multiplied by its conjugate, then the product will give you a real number. Understand? It is a real number, no longer a complex number. Why? Because there is no item. So from here, one conclusion I can draw, that if a complex number is multiplied by its conjugate, then their product will be real. Okay. So z into z bar is equal to x square plus y square. Once you get x square plus y square, then you can get a reference of one term which you have just got. What is that? Mod z root x square plus y square. Few minutes back, we got the term root x square plus y square. So, this term I will express in terms of that which we have just got. Suppose any number 2, can you write this thing in terms of a whole square? Yes, root 2 whole square. So, the same thing will be done here, root x square plus y square whole square. Now, root x square plus y square is what? You just shift back, that is mod z, which is uh, actually called hypotenuse in real number system. So, that is mod z whole square. So, we have got a new property, z into z bar mod z whole square. Okay. Now, z is equal to x plus iy, and z bar we have already got x minus iy. So, if I add, this part will get cancelled, you will get 2x, and already we have discussed that in x plus iy, that means the standard form of complex number, x is the real part, twice real z, and if you subtract twice imaginary z, okay, z plus z bar twice real z, that is twice imaginary z. Hope up to this stage you could follow.